Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending. Over the weekend, the hashtag #FreeVDM topped the trends after activist Martin Sorshe, also known as Very Dark Man, was arrested by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission outside a Guaranty Trust Bank branch in Abuja. His arrest followed his public criticism of the bank for allegedly making unauthorized withdrawals from his mother's account. Well, according to his lawyer, Deji Adeyoju, VDM was ambushed by EFCC operatives and trapped inside GTB's exit door for over 5 minutes, a move he claims was a deliberate ploy to allow the anti-graft officers to effect his arrest. Many Nigerians, including VDM's brother, Mark Vincent Oshe, have accused the bank of complicity in the arrest and called for a boycott of the bank.
Everybody have been saying, come out and protest, come out and protest. Definitely, we are coming out on Monday. I'm not going to lie to you. We are coming out on Monday. We are coming out, me, myself, my family. I, Mark Vincent, I'm coming to GT Bank, Area 3 branch on Monday to withdraw my money, my small money I get with now. I'm going to withdraw my money. I'm going to make sure my family members withdraw their money. I'm going to make sure every Ratel withdraw their money from GTB Bank. We are not coming to fight you people, but we are coming out in mass, believe me. We are coming out in mass. We are not coming to play with you people. We are coming to do business on your ground. We are coming to take what is rightfully ours, which is our money. Well, GT Bank, you have done well. Now, let's play your game. We are not going to do the usual protest whereby everybody to come outside the shower because we don't already know how those things they end. In the end, now we'll come to suffer. They'll come to arrest people. Now we'll come to send people, they'll come spoil the protest for us. But we're not about that, man. We are now wise. You get, we have knowledge, which is our own power too now. We are going to come and we are going to withdraw our money. Peacefully, GT Bank, if you like, close, if you like, no close. But believe me, from Monday till the end of next week, back-to-back withdrawal. No worry. That's our business now. We don't come for now.
All right, today is Monday. Today is a day set for the, assumed protests by VDM's family and the Ratel group and people that are visibly upset with GT Bank. But GT Bank has released a security footage showing that Very Dark Man was not apprehended in the bank. Well, here is the footage showing VDM exiting the bank, according to the Chief Communication Officer of GT Bank, Oyinde Adegite. VDM posted on his social media pages that he was visiting GT Bank branch in Garki to resolve the alleged issue with his mother's account. He concluded his business successfully and left our branch, as seen in the CCTV footage. As you can see here, his subsequent arrest is unrelated to his visit to the bank branch in Garki. We saw this footage circulating, released by the Vanguard newspaper, and we did see that VDM had left the premises of the bank. So, I mean, it does show that, appears that GT Bank has nothing to do with his arrest. But, I'll take a tweet from this person, Alexis, who wrote, "So eventually, VDM was not apprehended at GT Bank premises. So everybody can rest now and stop accusing the bank that knows nothing about it. It is the EFCC and not the bank. VDM has been making videos about them. I think it's because of the video they apprehended him." Meanwhile, Deji Adeyoju has threatened to take legal actions against the EFCC and GT Bank for the alleged inhumane treatment meted out to his clients. In a preliminary statement, VDM's legal team stated that their client and his associate, CPAC, were forcefully arrested at gunpoint outside a GT Bank in the presence of VDM's mother. They were allegedly beaten while blindfolded, labeled as bandits, and threatened. The legal team visited the EFCC and was shown an arrest warrant for VDM on allegations of cyber stalking issued by a magistrate in Wuse Zone 2. However, no formal charge or allegation was disclosed against VDM's associate, CPAC. In the meantime, social media have been awash with reactions to VDM's arrest, with many, including musicians Seun Kuti and Davido, demanding his release. Also, videos of foreigners calling out the EFCC and the federal government of Nigeria over his arrest have since gone viral. Let's take a look.
Hello, EFCC. This is a serious warning, and I hope you guys listen very well. You cannot arrest very dark man, a freedom fighter, like a Tories leader. You guys should free very dark man within the next 48 hours.
I heard my brother, very dark man, has been arrested by EFCC, like all brothers. Ross is very angry because he's a good person. And it's not just empty talking. Let me tell you how I got to know very dark man. There was a Tanzanian named Peter who took Ross shoes, was 1 million in cash, and he tried to cheat me. Nigeria's brothers told me to seek VDM's help. I just messaged my problem to VDM, and the next day, he make a video to expose it. Later, Ross get a little money back. He was willing to help a stranger, Chinese, without any reward. So Ross says he's a good person, and impossible to have done anything illegal. So I want to say to the Nigeria government, so I think you arrested VDM because he often speaks out on those public issues. You cannot solve the problem. So you choose to silence those who raise them. Isn't that shameless? Nigeria brothers, please share this video and leave your supportive comments. Tell the government that it's a democratic and a free country. It should tolerate critical voice because all Nigeria wants their country to become better and stronger. Please release VDM immediately.
All right. The hashtag free VDM. Rufai, all loud gone. What is going on with the EFCC at this point?
Let me go back historically. Yesterday, I was watching a documentary of Stalin, Russia, where people that didn't align were taken, were sent up to gulags, were sent up to concentration places. And I also remember the history of the Gestapo. The way and manner the EFCC or multi-agency I'm now hearing from my investigation did take the VDM was a Gestaporic style, and it's an aberration in a democracy. If you claim that you have petitions written against him, it is not you that you are the judge, executioner, and everything in the case. You let him have his day in court. Today, you have violated his rights. You've kept him on there. And then some people will come and quote Akja. You've kept him on there for all these hours, passing the threshold of keeping people before you charge him to court. Till today, we've not had an official message out by the EFCC, which from my investigation, I discovered that it's a joint security body thing.
Yes.
It's not only the EFCC. And you were taken in that manner, blindfolded, pushed into a car in a Gestaporic style. We want to believe Nigeria is a democracy, but we don't believe so sometimes. We want to believe that the days of Abacha is long over, but we don't believe so sometimes. Because those days of Abacha was the days of rage in this country, where you watch what you said. But we don't believe so, because of what is happening in this country as we speak. Like Africa, China, say, rich my way, not wasting money. They're not going to see him face for crime fighter. If you have petition written against the man, call the man forward, come and accept his petition. Why arresting him in that style? Until today, after many hours, the EFCC nor any government agency have not issued a statement.
Yes, we've reached out to them. We have a right to hear from them.
I have also reached out to the people I know in the EFCC.
Yes.
They've not issued a statement today.
They've not issued a statement till now.
So it is a very sad one for Nigeria. And the question is VDM to deal? Who is next? When are they going to do right? This is a country. We see how people violate the law and they move off. It's in this country we had Yaya Bello that could resist arrest. We are not saying, please don't investigate him based on petitions written. All we are saying is, do it in a clean way.
That's it.
And let the rule of law take its course. Let him have his day in court.
All right, moving by. In the wake of all that drama, An old video of the late Afrobeat legend Fela Anikulapo Kuti during a tour with his Africa 70 band in Berlin in 1978, where he told the audience about what happens when you speak the truth, has gone viral. Let's take a look.
When you are a revolutionary and you talk the truth, people will come and slap you down. Then you talk the truth again, they lock you in jail. Then when you are very strong and you talk again, they may kill you. They may even burn your house down, like they burnt my house down at home. Now, when they burn my house finish, some friends who are very, Africans know they are very afraid of life. Hey, fella, yourself, don't talk truth again. You see, they come and tell you not to say the truth again. Then I tell them, I say, them never hear anything at all. Then go hear pansa pansa. Pansa pansa means they will hear more and more and more until they can hear no more, because the truth can never die.
The late Afrobeat legend, the truth can never die. You always know that he spoke truth to power, and we're seeing that the very dark man also was following in his footsteps.
Absolutely.
Right.
Now, I mean, it's also important to put some historical context to what was happening in Berlin in what year was that? 1978.
Yes.
Because we know that that's before the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Yes.
And it was at the height of the Cold War, when there were tensions between the East and the West,
yes.
Communism, anti-communism, and so forth. It was a massive time, definitive moment
yes.
in the global world order. So for him to go and perform and, you know, especially what he was saying at the time, as much as it is revolutionary now, at that point was even more revolutionary. And it just reminds us of why it's important to have advocates, to have revolutionaries, to have people who don't fit into conformity, but are bold enough to call a spade whenever they see it as such, because it's not always the easy thing to do. So to see Fela doing that, and to now see that, sadly, this message resonates with so many people today, is an indictment on where we are going. It's an indictment on when we're going, because we're supposed to look at this historically and say, look how far we've come. It shouldn't be almost nostalgic and say, oh my goodness, you know, different day, different trouble, I think is what they say. Also the fact that as much as they say history doesn't repeat itself, history rhymes. So I think it's an important time for us to reflect. Yesterday was World Press Freedom Day,
yes.
and again there was some scathing comments that were made by Sarah, by some of the civil society organizations against what is currently happening. They're saying that press freedom is not what we're enjoying here in Nigeria at the moment. And now just to tie it all up, before you move on to your next story, we can't forget Very Dark Man's mother.
Yes.
Because her whereabouts are also still not confirmed. And even if he has something to answer for, I can't imagine why we would keep an elderly woman in custody for this long. Because I don't believe she is the subject of any investigation.
Well, I doubt that they arrested her.
They say that her whereabouts is not known.
That was over the weekend.
Have they found her?
Because I think even there was one of his brother that was at the scene. He has also been brought back, and in fact even granted an interview.
Is back as well.
Yeah, so I don't think there's anything.
So I wanted to be sure about that.
Yes, and thank you for highlighting that. Actually, Femi Akinsoya, in another development, well, Labour Party leader Peter Obi has condemned the alleged abduction of Atiku Issa and the arrest of Very Dark Man. In a post on X, Obi expressed concern over the disregard for the rule of law and the erosion of youth voices in a democracy. On the issue of VDM's arrest, Peter Obi wrote in part, "The arrest of Martin Vincent Osher, popularly known as Very Dark Man, though perhaps within the legal rights of security agencies, was carried out in a manner that left many Nigerians unsettled. One cannot help but ask, was it impossible to invite Mr. Osher in a civil, transparent, and legal manner? Will that not have spared Nigerians, GT Bank, and our national image the unnecessary shame and losses we now witness? Similarly, troubling are the allegations surrounding the so-called adoption of the NANS president. If true, it raises critical questions about the independence of student leadership and subtle erosion of young voices in our democracy. Nigeria's youth should not feel coerced, silenced, or absorbed into political agendas that do not reflect their will. The opposition of young voices, whether through force, patronage, or intimidation, is a dangerous path that we must not normalize, and that is quite apt. I thought that Peter Obi here summed up really the voices of Nigerian youth and the people that are really aggrieved about this arrest of VDM or, the so-called abduction of, the NANS president. We will await an investigation as we'll take it here on what's trending. Again, we're looking forward for a statement from the EFCC as regards the whereabouts and the abduction of very dark man. We'll take another story now. Over the weekend, social media was awash with reactions after a US-based Nigerian activist, Sandra Duru, alleged that suspended Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan offered her 200 million naira to falsify or falsely accuse Senate President Godswill Akpabio of organ harvesting. Duru, who goes by the name Professor Ngbeke on Facebook, made the allegations during a live session on the platform. She alleged that Natasha admitted to having evidence of sexual harassment against Akpabio and wants to force his resignation. The activist also claimed that Natasha recruited a former Minister of Education, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, and Arise News to do her bidding, insisting that Natasha is on a mission to destroy men. Let's take a look.
Natasha told me bluntly, she said, babe, there was nothing like sexual harassment. I was shocked. So when she now started explaining things to me, in the course of the explanation, she was so relaxed. She was so calm. She opened up a lot of things to me. Our conversation wasn't just one or two, which the security agencies have already verified. And she was bold enough to tell me that she has paid Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, that she recruited Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, that's not a big deal, I can do it. I said, did you tell Dr. Obi that these things are not true? She said, they know. We are women. We can't let these men be doing this to us. We have to fight. Let's just use gender-based whatever. She now said, it didn't happen. I don't have evidence. That was why I sent Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, Mrs. Abiola or Dr. Abiola, and Fida. You were recruited, that she recruited useful idiots, women that can speak and be heard. You are now Natasha's useful idiots. And she was wondering why I cannot join her on Arise TV to do the same thing. And the question is, why always Arise TV? She said she has bought them.
Rufai, Vimbai, Femi. These are quite damning allegations. And I could not help but wonder, now Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan will tell you there's no evidence of sexual harassment. That actually got me. Like, why would she tell you? Do you have some superior powers, being? Are you God? Those were some of the questions. Well, in the meantime, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has refuted the claims made by Professor Ngbeke, and that's her name on Facebook, saying that the activist was acting on behalf of Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Natasha posted a screenshot from the Facebook live session where the activist mistakenly flashed her call log showing Godswill Akpabio's name. Let me take Natasha's post on IG. She wrote in part, the content of the live stream, including the voice effect credited to me, are entirely untrue and most manipulated to serve Sandra Duru's ulterior motive of playing the script of Senator Godswill Akpabio, who called 47 minutes into her during her live stream. See attached, and that's the footage there. To the best of my knowledge, those words used against Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, Dr. Abiola, FIDA, and good Nigerians as gullible and hungry, Yoruba government, etc., are crazy falsehood and did not emanate from the natural cause of any contact involving me. In the nearest of time, I will respond to the unfounded allegations made therein. Well, Natasha went on to post some links of, alleged unscrupulous activities, including fraud and blackmail allegations against the activist, Dr. Sandra Duru. Let me take Obi Ezekwesili's tweet. She wrote, "Once again, Senator Akpoti, you will never walk alone. I see how my unwavering support for your cry for justice has sent your adversaries into a frenzy, resorting to a desperate, laughable falsehoods. Rest assured, Dr. Abiola, the distinguished women of FIDA, and I will continue to stand with you wholeheartedly. Our commitment to justice is unshaken, and we will not relent until justice is served. We simply despise injustice and the abuse of power, period. No sensible and decent person who knows my incorruptible track record is deceived by the ridiculous fabrications being peddled by your traducers. They know without a doubt that no amount of money, not even all the wealth in every central bank in the world, can buy my convictions, voice, and stance on any matter I choose to support. So, worry not, Senator Akpoti Uduaghan. You will continue to have my unwavering sacrificial support in your resolute fight against Senate President Godswill Akpabio." I mean, people have said that Arise News channel should respond to being mentioned in the Duru Akpoti Uduaghan allegations. I would like to let you know that we do not respond to such wild and unsubstantiated allegations. We are a public trust and a platform for all in the pursuit of truth and justice. Rufai, I'd like to come to you with this matter. I just thought I should table out our, our side of our allegations. We do not respond to such allegations. But, it was quite refreshing to see Dr. Obi Ezekwesili respond to Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan in such a supportive manner, given that, this video came out, hoping that Obi Ezekwesili will be upset with Natasha Akpoti after all of that, accusing her of saying that, she was what? Is it an idiot or something? A gullible idiot or something. Useful idiot. That's what.
Oji, since this matter started, you can play back all of my tapes.
Yes.
What have I said? I'm not saying Akpabio is wrong. I'm not saying Natasha is wrong. All I'm saying, they should put evidence forward. And I always put a caveat. In a moment or a time where Natasha does not have her evidence, I will be the first to do what? To berate her on this platform. You can check through the past tapes. And that's the point I've always reiterated. The talk and the all sorts of rubbish talk here and there. When that incident started first, the first guest that came to speak on that issue was Senator Nwabwe. He sat on that chair. He came to speak in favor of Senator Godswill Akpabio. The thing happened today, the altercation happened, because I remember the day the altercation happened. I was in Abuja that day. That was the day Babangida's book launch happened. The next day, Senator Nwabwe was here. And we took every side. Both surrogates that came to speak in favor of Senator Akpabio and those that came to speak in favor of Senator Akpoti. We took every side. In fact, I thought we had more surrogates speaking in favor of Senator Akpabio on this platform, which are facts that can be verified. Then moving further, all of this rigmarole that happened. And you are hearing, allegations of this and that, and all sorts of allegations being mentioned. Oji, it was crystal clear. We met Natasha on the night of our awards. There's no hidden. It was live on TV. We sat down together. So all sorts of talk. We have just always maintained that every part should be heard.
Absolutely.
Is it also this incident that led to a record that we exposed here? and how that recall failed. And in all of this, we have also seen the accuser, in the bit of showing the phone, has also shown that there was a call received by the Senate president and some other senators. A contact.
A contact with that name.
With that
name. Contact with that name.
Yes.
And a contact with other names. So another conversation. So that's also out there in part of all of this. But on this issue, we have stood our part. We'll keep on giving voices to everybody possible. I'll keep on asking for the facts of every matter. And I also hear that there was a presidential panel set up to look into this matter. And I hear that the Senate president pulled out of it.
Yes.
I will want the presidential panel to also look at this. Natasha should present her evidence. Senator Akpabio should present her evidence. In the case of anyone found wanting, we come out there, we say it the way it is and berate them.
Yeah.
I just have one more sentence to make, which is that I think that these are some of the, shall I say, occupational hazards in the era of social media, where people can come out to social media and lay whatever claim they wish to claim, whether it be verified, whether it be fact, whether it be not. And my appeal again, and I've appealed before, is to the judiciary, because these cases in their various capacities are before the courts. And that's where the evidence needs to be provided. And that's where we pray for a transparent and fair process so that we can really get what's truly called justice. This social media back and forth, it's unnecessary.
Yes.
This issue is before the courts and the various processes. We need to be there every step of the way, holding those processes accountable until it reaches the ultimate conclusion of this case.
Absolutely well said. And as always, we at Arise News will continue to follow up on the story and report on it. We need more investigation.